And they have two circuits of the course ahead of them here, Ollie. They start right by the best mate enclosure, and they're off. And they have a very long run to the first of 12 flights of hurdles. There's 6 flights to be taken on each of the circuits, and the first flight is taken in about another furlong or so's time at the beginning of the back straight. Conman John on the inside, the white colours of Easy Love. Those are the first two, with Inish Corker, the grey, racing wide into third. Pour Les Filles is in fourth position. Then towards the inside is Kachin Savo. Sochi taken quite wide as they go over the first flight of hurdles. There was a mistake there by Inish Corker. Inish Corker was the one who blundered out wide and lost several places as Conman John and Derek Fox now stride on into the lead, and that lead now is about a neck or so. Towards the outside, Easy Love racing in second as they go over flight number 2, and there it was Sochi who was very slow in the air, the rank outsider, very deliberate, and again not a very fluent lead by Inish Corker, who now has dropped back to last. Inish Corker, who jumped off in third position, but in the space of only 3 furlongs has gone from third to 13th. And it is Conman John who leads them now up the hill and on towards flight number 3. His lead now is 2 lengths to Easy Love racing in second, and in third is Kachin Savo. In fourth, Pour Les Filles. Then towards the outside, Great Fleet, the black colours with the orange star as they go over this third flight. Then towards the inside was Island Bridge. Island Bridge being followed by Miss Goldfire as they now prepare to lead the back straight behind them. Next in the field is the wide racing Minella Supreme. Minella Supreme is racing now actually on the heels of Casino de Mott, who's just improved a couple of places. Towards the inside, Soldier's World is still towards the rear with Sporting Glance, another one who's ridden very patiently. Sochi towards the outside. The one who really hasn't jumped well and hasn't travelled so far is Inish Corker on hurdling debut last, and now slightly detached as they go over the first of 2 flights taken on the run down the hill. And once again at the back of the field, Inish Corker was very novice and jumped out away to his right. So they now race to the bottom of the hill and on now towards flight number 5, and it still sees Conman John and Easy Love as the first duo. They've been the first 2 throughout. Over in third position is Pour Les Filles, who's jumped very slickly so far. Then on the inside in fourth is Kachin Savo. Next towards the inside rail is Island Bridge, who's now just dropped in behind Great Fleet as they made the turn, and that one's outside Minella Supreme. Then the dark green of Sochi right round the outside. Racing alongside Casino de Mott, and then the yellow colours of Soldier's World as they go over the flight, which will last in a circuit's time. So let's bring in Fitzy and Skoo. And Fitzy, the one thing I've noticed in that first circuit, that in third, the 70-year-old Pour Les Filles is really jumping very slickly indeed.
Putting on a demonstration, Mark, to be honest. Really slick, making ground at all the obstacles, and that makes your job as a jockey easy. We saw Conman John, but he almost took a chance there, Skip.
He did at the last of the circuit to go. He's also shown a tendency just to edge to his right a little bit. You can see Jack Kennedy and Sam Twiston-Davis behind him. They certainly look like they're alert to that. He just likes to shift a little bit right on the approach to the hurdles.
But it is Easy Love moving on the outside of Conman John as they jump that first flight taken down the back straight. They've definitely increased the tempo a touch now. Then on the inside, Kachin Savo moving up to share third with Pour Les Filles on that one's outside. Next is Great Fleet racing in 5th. On the inside, Island Bridge is in 6th. On that one's outside, Minella Supreme is in 7th. In 8th, making ground is Sporting Glance as they go over the second flight taken down the back straight. Soldier's World is next, then ridden along is Miss Goldfire. Also, Sochi is now flat to the boards, and Inish Corker is still last, but still in touch. No more than around about 10 lengths off the dueling leaders, who now race up towards the 4th from home at the top of the hill. On the outside, Easy Love, the white colours. The red colours on the inside, Conman John. Into third is Kachin Savo. Around that one's outside, Pour Les Filles. Next against the rail is Island Bridge. After Island Bridge is Great Fleet, who's still racing exuberantly as they go over that flight right at the top of the hill. Trying to make ground through on the inner is Soldier's World. Likewise around the outside is Sporting Glance, and then they're being followed by Miss Goldfire, and Inish Corker has now passed one. That is Sochi, who is now tailed off. So they begin to make the run around the turn at the top of the hill, and still many chances here, and it is Conman John on the inside, being confronted by Easy Love for the first 2.5 miles of the contest. Catching Savo, he's followed by Pour Les Filles towards the outside. Minella Supreme as they line up now to try and tackle these long-time leaders. Out the back of the field, Casino de Mont landed steeply and made a mistake. Now they're racing down towards the second last, still over 3 furlongs to go, and it is Conman John on the inside by about half a length to Catching Savo, who is in second as they go over the second from home. Catching Savo, a slight mistake and slightly hampered Pour Les Filles over that flight of hurdles. So they're about to make the turn back towards home. Derek Fox and Conman John still hold the lead. Written now in second is Easy Love, and here comes Harry Skelton on Great Fleet, who's going to be delivered late. Then towards the inside is Island Bridge. Conman John is at the last. His lead now is less than a length to Great Fleet, who's now trying to stay on, but Conman John is finding more resolute under pressure, and now he begins to kick away again. Conman John and Derek Fox pouring it on as they come up towards the hill. He's 2 out of 2 over hurdles. Conman John repels Great Fleet. In the end, there's a break of 12 lengths back to Easy Love in third, and in fourth was Island Bridge, and in fifth came Casino de Mont. At 4-1, Conman John has made just about all of the 3 miles here, and he has repelled Great Fleet, who travelled so exuberantly throughout that race but did not find in the end. And a long, long way back was Easy Love back in third. Here he comes towards the line. He was only about a length or 3/4 of a length in front, jumping the last, but once he got that bit of a rail, he really did sprint up the hill, and he's now 2 out of 2 over hurdles.
And Lucinda and Michael have got a very talented horse on their hands, Scoo.
Absolutely. Look, Great Fleet has got closer to Conman John than he did at Kelso, but I just love the enthusiasm that he went through the race with. You know, there was just a moment turning into the straight thinking, has he done too much over this trip? But as soon as Derek has given him the office after the last, he's fairly sprinted up the hill, which takes some doing after 2 miles 7 furlongs in rain-softened ground.
He's fairly bolted up. The second hit 1.7 in running, but he's pulled out more.
Yeah, I think Derek Fox's heart might have skipped a beat at the last with a circuit to go, though. But the second horse travelled really well, almost too well, and had nothing left at the end.
We'll have a look at all that in a moment. Let's hear from the winning rider with Alice.
Well, Derek, all that time off with injury must make it worthwhile when you ride a horse like that. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. He travelled very well, he jumped well, and he came off the back of a good run, and no, it was a good decision for Lucinda to throw him in here, because at the ratings he was a wee bit wrong, but we obviously had good faith in him at home that he's a very good horse, and no, delighted.
I mean, the way he travelled in front was impressive, but probably what was most impressive was what he found off the back of the last.
Yeah, I got an easy enough time up in front, and I got a good fill into him just at the very top of the hill before I turned down, and I was fairly confident from jumping 3 out that he was still going very easy, so listen, it worked out lovely for me, and yeah, it's always easier on a good horse, you know.
He does look like a good one. Well done.
Thank you.